Hello everybody, my name is Bobby, and welcome to a new Top 5. Oh yeah, I'm back again after my long absence, about a year and a half, no, a year that I haven't uploaded, but I'm back, and today's Top 5, we're going to be talking about the top 5 NBA teams as of right now. We're not talking about all time, we're not talking about the early 2000s, we're talking about as of this second, heading into the 2017-2018 season, who has the best team. So coming in at number 5 on my top 5 would be the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now this offseason, you count Russell Westbrook coming off an MVP campaign, and what do? They trade Paul George and give away Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis. Two players. Victor Oladipo was getting paid more than Paul George was. And I would say, what a steal. Even if it's only 1 year, what a steal for the OKC Thunder this offseason getting Paul George. Also, they signed Patrick Patterson and Andre Roberson to very, very low deals for the potential of both of them at their positions. Especially Roberson, my CU guy right there. If he can start shooting the ball well, he's a steal on that deal. And you've got Russell Westbrook and Paul George as a teaming up as a team. It's like, and you still got Steven Adams and Enes Kanter as the two big men down low. This team, the sky is the limit, but there's a lot of teams hanging above them in the West, and that's why they're number 5. Coming in at number 4 on my top 5 has to be the San Antonio Spurs. You might ask, the Spurs, they're just the same old Spurs. Well, yeah, they're the same old Spurs. You still have Kawhi Leonard, superstar, top 3 MVP voting the past 2 years. You still have Paul Gasol around. Still have LaMarcus Aldridge. Maybe he'll finally blossom this year. You still got Manu Ginobili, my boy. Tony Parker will be coming back from injury. They also got Murray from the playoffs last year. I can't remember his last name. I think that was it. The point guard who played a lot last year. He could blossom. And Derek White out of CU, it might have been a steal of the draft, but we don't know again. But, the Spurs just kind of keep this pace, and they seriously can stay in contention with the Warriors. They were up by 25 before Kawhi got hurt in Game 1. And that was against the Super Warriors team. So maybe the Spurs this year, maybe this is a chance that they could climb back into the finals and maybe get a second shot at the Warriors if people can stay healthy. That's a big concern for them is health. But if they stay healthy, they're definitely deserving of a top 5 spot. In at number 3 on my top 5 is the Boston Celtics, the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. I'm letting you know that. Why, you ask? Boston Celtics at 3, ahead of the Spurs, ahead of the Thunder? Well, they got no competition right now in the East, especially with the uncertainty surrounding the Cavs. They just signed Gordon Hayward this offseason. Great signing for them. Still have Isaiah Thomas. They had to dump Avery Bradley, which that's a hard loss for them. But they gained Marcus Morris in return from the Pistons, and that could be a valuable addition to their team. Also they're the Celtics. They have a history of winning, and Brad Stevens has been doing a good job as their coach. Had a great season, number 1 seed in the East last year, and I see no reason why they won't be number 1 again this year, as long as people stay healthy, especially as long as Isaiah Thomas doesn't have the rough playoffs he did last year with the passing of his sister and the injury problems that he had to deal with. Isaiah Thomas is healthy, this team is great. This team is a perennial. This team is, I would believe, on their way to the NBA Finals. But, once again, the uncertainty surrounding, especially with some other teams in the Western Conference, leaves them at number 3 on the top 5. Coming in at number 2 on my top 5 has to be the Houston Rockets. Now, you got James Harden, 2nd place in the MVP voting last year. And what do they do in the offseason? You bring in Chris Paul, and you potentially bring in Carmelo Anthony. Now, that's the big thing. If they can't bring in Melo, I might drop him a spot, because this is banking on the fact that they could unite Harden, Melo, and Chris Paul together. Three superstars, another super team in the NBA. Which seems likely as we just saw that they're re-engaging in trade talks for Melo. But still, they are a very good team even if it's just Chris Paul and James Harden. They got a great backcourt right there. Harden's playing like the best in his life right now. This Drew League this summer, he's been showing people up. It's looking great for him. And I'm not so sure about their front court though, and that's what makes me question their top 5 spot a little bit. But I mean, with the backcourt like that and how much they were winning last year with just James Harden mainly, the sky's the limit for this team. But there's one team in the Western Conference that's preventing them from being number 1. Coming in at number 1 on my top 5 is none other than, you guessed it, the Golden State Warriors. Now, why? Because they're the Golden State Warriors. You have Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, all on the same team, still together. Kevin Durant accepts about 75% of a max deal to allow them to sign more players. When they sign Nick Young, they bring back JaVale McGee, Zaza Pachulia, David West. They still got rookies like Patrick McCaw, Damian Jones on the bench that still haven't gotten much looks yet because of how many guys are ahead of them. Also Sean Livingston and Iguodala, baby. I hate him because he left the Nuggets, but he is a very, very, very good sixth man for them. And just they're the Warriors, and the way that they dominated the Cavs in the finals last year leads me to believe that nobody's stopping them this year, really, because they won last year against a Cavs team that people thought had a chance, and I don't know if there's anybody that can stop them this year. But there's right now, the Warriors are like here, and everybody else is like here. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's Warriors 1, 1, 1, like way up here because of the talent of their roster right now. And that's going to do it for my top 5. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know if you disagree maybe with what I said, disagree with any of my rankings. This is my opinion again, but there's always room for improvement. There's always room for change. And if you have a question, have a comment, let me know. Drop a like, have some fun. See you tomorrow. Ciao!